pretty straightforward.
People often forget that the world is a vampire. You know, like the song?
Yeah, when we were playing fucking ball earlier today, Jake and I, we had this dude who we were playing against who had to stop because he was like, bro, my fucking heart hurts.
like just like my heart just started like beating really fast out of nowhere. And we were just like, is it this has never happened to you before? And he's just like, oh man, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and it was like he had come with a friend, so it was like us to his friends. And them to his friends. And then his friend was like, you want to take a bump?
And I was
why your fucking heart hurts.
Immediately I was just like, that sounds like the worst thing for him right now. And he was just like, haha, that you are maybe, yeah.
Speaking of heart hurting, I used to work with this one dude. He had a heart attack on shift and died on shift.
Shit.
Yeah, it was right there in the street, bro. He was an old guy, and they didn't even have him doing that much. He was just standing outside, and he died on shift, bro.
Fuck, man.
That shit was crazy.
This was at Walmart.
Yeah.
That's the worst way to go out.
It was wild. I don't remember his name. He was a cool old guy, though. But yeah, he just dropped.
That's crazy, man.
That's wild, bro. I feel like all night tonight, you guys have been like saying like one small thing, and it just like takes me back. You know what I mean? To, like, wild shit that's happening.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
That's the podcast life.
That's what it's like being a podcaster.
Yeah, that's really all we do is we just tell stories back and forth. So you're gonna do all right, man.
Would you like to introduce yourself? I guess.
Diego, 19. Just moved into LA, Colorado. Met Jake and Willard at Shake Shack, flipping burgers. So
yeah.
Some of my best friendships have been from flipping burgers. Though.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man.
It's flipping burgers, making friends.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I think I know the main reason why I started talking to you, or at least just like broach conversation, was Jake was like, have you spoke to Diego? And I'm like, kinda, because I think we had worked one shift together, and I fucked you over, a bit. I talked to Ebony about that. I don't care about naming her. Yeah, because in Shake Shack standards, you're only allowed to drop 8 patties at a time. And
you said it was okay for me to drop 9. I got yelled at, boy.
Yeah, and I straight up told them,
I'm like, forgot about that. Fuck you.
That was your first shift together?
That was the first fucking 20 minutes.
It was a nightmare shift. I had to come in 20 minutes early to open.
It was bad.
Yeah, but I just felt so, because the two people involved who were yelling at you, like, fully have never yelled at anyone else for that. Yeah. And it was just 9 patties.
Like my third day.
Yeah, and I was like,
I just started.
Fuck. And then you hit the stanky leg. Yeah. You hit the stanky leg and you soldier boyed. And I was just like, okay. Like,
it seems chill.
So I'm pretty sure it's undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I'm autistic. So, like, there's sometimes when I gotta, like,
you just gotta crank one out.
Yeah, I just gotta crank one out.
A soldier boy, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say crank that out.
You can crank that.
But if you crank it out,
you can crank that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just be yelling and shit.
Wait, so I'm curious about this, but we don't have to talk about it on the pod if you don't want to. Just because, like, a few people at work know it. But you said on Halloween somebody, like, said that you were being, like, aggressive.
Yeah, so I had a meeting with managers, and they were like, we want to talk to you because I was told that you were using, like, aggressive language on Halloween, and you were, like, getting aggressive. And I was mad confused. I was like, can you, like, tell me? Like, you can't tell me who said it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever, but, like, what did I say, or, like, what did I do? And they were like, you were told to go on break, and you threw your hands up and said, it is what it is. And I was like, what?
That was it?
That was it.
Oh
That's
my
what they
God.
said. He was like, yeah, we just remember telling you to go on break, and somebody reported that you would just threw your hands up and said it is what it is. I was like, how is that aggressive?
This is what required a talking to.
Yeah, like I really thought like I yelled at somebody or something.
Yeah,
But I was like, I
Because
don't.
you told me that's like that conversation happened. You
Yeah,
didn't tell me.
I
any
apologize to
details.
everybody. I was
Yeah.
just like, hey, like sorry if I sounded aggressive. That's just how I talk sometimes.
Yeah, you didn't give me the details of it, so I was like
Yeah.
trying to. I've been
I was
trying to
literally
like
just
think
like,
back.
it is what it is, and just walked away. And they
I've
were
been
like,
trying-
yeah, you were aggressive.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, it also just doesn't help that is just genuinely funny. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember you and I, because you were on grill and I was on bun for like most of the night shift, and we were on the different stations though. You were flipping to the other station where there was. I'm trying to remember who was on that station. It was I'm pretty sure it was Eric and someone from one of the other shacks that came that we had never like worked with before, and so I was like, maybe she did something. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
she didn't like know how we interacted.
Yeah, I was like, that's my first week, and I'm already being an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, no, 'cause- yeah, that was wild. That's so funny though. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, I was like, out of all things I wanted to say all night, that's what they say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be so much meaner. Sometimes, like, it is what it is. Got me. Like, that's what did it.
Yeah. That's funny.
especially because it's like at the shack, I've heard like worse,
Oh
like
yeah.
much worse things said, and then not
'Cause
get in
it's
trouble.
not even bad. I'm like
It's
still
not bad.
confused. What it is, what it is. I
How
think
it
it was
came off aggressive.
the
Maybe.
motion.
But I wasn't even by anybody when I did it.
Yeah.
So I was literally walking away from. I was away from people. And I was like, that's all I did. And
I think it's even funnier that you were doing a bit to yourself and you got
Yeah.
fucking in trouble.
and I got in trouble
Yeah.
for it. I was mad confused, but it is what it is. I
Yes,
guess.
I
You
guess.
know what I mean?
You're
Like,
not
it is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't get a talking to necessarily. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because it's like I have also been condemned for my language, and the two things that have come to mind was one, I like loudly yelled "hurt" on salmonella, and you just like can't bring up salmonella when you're working in food service, apparently. And then the second time was fully yesterday, because you know the dance, the shoot, where you're like,
Yeah, Fortnite. That's what I remember it from.
Yeah.
You, because I've done this joke to you, and I looked at our coworkers, who like I know well, like I've spoken to them like outside and stuff, and I was like,
Oh.
yeah, I'm like, yo, when someone says they're shooting up the kitchen, and I just fucking like,
I thought it was the like active shooter in the building, and you're like doing the dance.
no,
That's terrible.
yeah, no,
I mean, I could understand that one.
yeah, no, and they're like,
That tongue.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why I only told you to. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Then I was just like,
Just
okay.
like imagine a customer just hearing.
Active shooter. Well, I whispered it because I was like, my first thought was like active. No, I was going to go shooting up the kitchen, and
Yeah.
I was like, no, I gotta do that.
Yeah.
That's funny though. You know
It's
what I mean?
funny, no.
I understood the humor purpose of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is indeed funny.
you're from Colorado, right?
Yeah. Don't mention Columbine.
I won't, bro.
Oh my god.
It's just like
don't do it.
every Coloradan I know are. Never mind. I don't even want to go
You
into
gotta
this.
say it now, bro. That's
No.
like my biggest pet peeve.
I'm
Is
so-
if you start saying something and you don't finish it, it'll drive me insane.
I will finish it. I think one of my bad habits is I will start saying it, stop it, but then I will say it when I should just say it. So I apologize.
Just say it, man.
No, but
Come on,
fucking
man.
some like multiple Coloradans I've known specifically just like are especially triggered by school shootings. I don't know what the correct language of this. How do you feel about school shootings?
Pro or anti?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a great soundbite, dude. Where fans are gonna love this shit, man. Diego, you're gonna be so famous after this, man.
no, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of them. I don't think they should happen. You know what I mean? Um, Crazy thing about a school shooting though is back in my hometown. Bringing up another story. It was like the last week of my senior year, and some kid brought a gun to school and was flashing it around the classroom, and we went into an active shooter drill, and it was crazy. You know, one kid almost puked, the other one was crying in the corner. There was this big old Mexican guy, I can't name him, but he was like 6'5", 6'6". He was my age, and I've never seen a man so scared, and especially since he like was acting like he was big dog, and he had a little Virgin of Guadalupe necklace on, and he was just kissing it and praying to it. And it turns out that the kid didn't bring a gun to school; it was an airsoft gun. And we went to a full drill because one of the teachers had a panic attack. But as far as I could say, in that moment, when I thought there was an active shooter, definitely wasn't the greatest feeling. So yeah, I guess in whole, I'd say I'm probably anti-school shooting.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I mean, I'm anti. I think it's just every person from Colorado that I've met, besides the one that we work with, because I haven't asked her about it, because it's hard to bring up.
There's no like great segue into that.
Yeah, no. I should just whenever that worker's like, you have 2 fries up. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Have you ever been in an active shooter situation? I feel like that's a great segue. No, every person I know from Colorado.
You just say Colorado, bro.
Colorado. It's tough.
You're good, bro.
It doesn't connect in my brain. Every Coloradan I know has had a connection to a school shooting or like an active shooter situation. They especially put that do not mention it whatsoever.
Damn.
Yeah, no.
Is it part of just Coloradan culture? Is that what it means to be part of Colorado?
Columbine definitely fucked us up, but it's not a good day for Colorado schools everywhere. But yeah, no. I don't know. It's not like a thing. You know, I have terrible friends in Colorado, so they definitely make jokes about it. But I think some people are just overly. Not, I won't want to say sensitive because that sounds insensitive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they are just really affected by it, I guess.
Yeah, a little more prone to reactions.
Yeah. That's
I think that is literally the definition of sensitivity, though.
Yeah, but I didn't
Prone
want to be like, they're just fucking sensitive, dude.
No.
You know what I mean? Just sound like a Midwestern dick, but yeah.
That's fair. I think, and I know that I feel like I lacked in the sense of just there's just more sensitivity. Instead of asking, so what are your thoughts on school shootings?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, for the sake of conversation, may I talk? Do y'all want to hear the story of my connection to Columbine?
Yeah,
Sure.
I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a pretty insane.
Do I know this story?
I don't know if I've talked about it much. I do tell it to friends. I told it to my mom I told her it when it happened, and she was did not respond to it. And then when I told her it, last time she visited, she was like, why the fuck did you never tell me this as a kid? And I'm like, I did.
Did you know one of the shooters?
I have 1 degree of separation.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot.
At all.
So in 6th grade in Gardnerville, Nevada, technically Jacks Valley, for being technical, I got in a lot of trouble.
Being very technical.
Yeah, we're being very technical. I got in a lot of trouble because what happened was in our friend group, we knew this kid who I'll just call M. And M had just moved in, and he had a very like brooding presence. He was like already like 6 foot as a sixth grader. Wore a hoodie, bigger on the massive
he
side.
fit the stereotype.
Yeah, but this is going in a direction you did not expect.
Okay.
I do remember that one of my teachers described that he smelled like cat piss constantly, and that she was scared about how he was being treated at home. But he was part of our friend group, which was very much like edgelord, like sixth grade, like boys. And one of it, because when you're in sixth grade, you start like having hormones and shit and hitting puberty. You learn what masturbation is. This was also at the time that Diary of the Wimpy Kid came out, like the movie.
How is that connected to this?
Well, because it was the cheese touch. How in the movie and the book, there's like, oh, there's the cheese touch. And every morning we'd play a game that was like, oh, it was the cheese touch. But M took it a direction in which one morning he had come out and was like, went into the bathroom while we were still having morning recess. Also, because in my school district, sixth grade was elementary school. Important to note. He had come out and he just goes, hey, I just jerked off in the bathroom. I still have my sperm on my hands.
That's nasty.
And so he goes around tagging everybody. So instead of the cheese touch, we had the sperm touch. Which then went into the AIDS touch. And that's what we would play every morning as kids.
AIDS touch?
Mm-hmm.
So what's this got to do with Columbine?
The kid with the AIDS touch did Columbine.
No.
That would be who got the AIDS touch later.
No. So what happened was we also had like girls in our friend group, and we invited them to the AIDS touch, and they of course did not like that. And so they report us
sensitive.
So they report us to the school counselor, and I remember one time we all got called in at once, and I was like, what's going on? You know, sixth grade me. And I walk in, and there's a room with my counselor, Mrs. H, with a police officer. And we go in, and they're like, hey, so we want to talk about this sperm/AIDS touch going on. And so they're talking to us about like all the harassment going on, and they're like, yeah, we asked the Douglas County like sheriff's office to get into your Facebook to find messages between each other. And she then read me a message. Specifically what it was I asked M, like, hey, what did you get on your math map score, which was standardized testing? And he was like, yo, I got like a 260 and I got a 267. Keep in mind, this is like 2011.
Yeah.
I was like, I got 267, asterisk mark, tea bags, asterisk mark, XD. And they were like, do you know what teabagging is?
Obviously, if I put teabagging.
Yeah, I
just wrote those two things together for fun.
Yeah, my defense was, it's when you squat on someone in
like a video game.
In a video game, and then she read me the Urban Dictionary definition of teabagging. And she was like, I am so disappointed in y'all. Like, in order for y'all to truly learn, like, I want to show you actual, like, pictures of AIDS victims. And just show you how much it destroys the body to know what you guys are doing wrong. And then here's what has, like, stuck in my brain for the last 12 years. She goes, I used to be a counselor at a private high school in New York. And I remember that there was a kid in, like, you know, in sixth or, like, in second grade, elementary school-wise, who genuinely caused problems. and who, like, just I knew something was wrong with him, and there was like nothing I could do about it. And then I remember one morning,
the Columbine shooter.
the kid was Eric Harrison, the Columbine shooter, and then she looks at 12-year-old me and goes, "You remind me just of him." And I was like,
That's crazy.
I was like, yo.
For the teabagging message? She
For
was
the
like,
teabagging
you
message.
remind me of the Columbine shooter.
Who I knew personally, and I remember I told this story to a friend recently, also from Colorado, Greeley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live by Greeley.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Is that our old roommate?
No.
I don't know who else is from Colorado.
No, they live in a suburb of Denver, right by DU. But no, I told that to one of my friends from Greeley, and she was like, "Well, Miss H must have been a bad counselor if she let the Columbine shooting happen." But
Yeah, no, I definitely would have been not nice to her. Something crazy about teachers teaching fucked up lessons. I had this teacher, like second grade, slavery. We were learning about slavery, and
I might have a tangent off of this.
In order for her to prove the point of how fucked up it was, she made half the class the whites and half the class, the slaves.
Oh my god! It's like the thing. It's like the eye color one.
mm-hmm.
You know that one.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, and all day she'd be giving the not slave kids Tootsie Rolls and Rice Krispie treats and taking them outside for recess. Be making the slave kids do homework all day, clean up the classroom.
Oh my fucking god!
At the day, it was so bad. Now one of the kids who was not the white kid ended up crying and like bawling his eyes out and saying it wasn't fair. Which, like, in the end, I got like, I got the point across.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a really weird way to teach us that like slavery was bad.
That's fucking wild. Which group were you in? You know what I say? All right, we can move on.
Eating a Tootsie Roll, you're like,
all I could say is I had a good day. I had fun.
You just love homework that much.
Yeah, no. I just fucking hate Tootsie Rolls, dude. So
yeah. Yeah, I didn't really have issues with my teachers when I was younger like that. I guess the closest thing I have to something like that is in my senior year of high school. We had this teacher that had fully taught at our high school for like 70 years. Old ass motherfucker. He's dead now. I think he retired like a year before he died. It was wild.
It's weird that he wanted to be around kids like that much.
Yeah. But I remember at one point we did our. I was in his class my senior year, and we were reading the Jesse Owens speech after he like won the long jump in front of Hitler, and he gives like a big speech, or he wrote a letter or something. It's a letter, I'm pretty sure. We're reading it, and he fully, Jesse Owens was a black man. He wrote the N-word multiple times in the letter or in the speech. I forget which one it was. And the teacher is like having us do like popcorn reading essentially, and it gets to a white kid when the N-word comes up.
The kid drops it, huh?
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do it. I think I told you about this. He wouldn't do it, and teachers get mad at him. He's just like, this man wrote these words as he wrote them, and you were going to say them as he wrote them. And he just keeps rereading the sentence up to that word, and you can hear his voice like shaking and shit. He's just like, and they treated. Sorry, and he just keeps. I'm pretty sure my friend Makai, another black kid, is sitting like right next to him, and he's just like eyeing him the whole fucking time. And the teacher's just like getting really fucking pissed at him, and essentially he's just like, you won't do it, I will. And he just yells it like in the middle of the class. He just fucking screams the N-word. And anytime it came up later, he would like popcorn himself in and say it because other kids, like the kids, didn't want to. I'm very proud. My school had a good amount of racist kids, which was super annoying. But none of them would say it, and so that was kind of an interesting case study, I guess, in peer pressure.
I bet there was one kid who was like,
He was
in
like,
that
"Oh my
class,
god,
he
let
was
it get to
praying.
me."
No.
Yeah,
no, he's like watching your teacher like popcorn himself in. And you're like, fuck, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
Popcorn me.
yeah. He's just throwing it in other places. It's not in there.
yeah, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a teacher one time. He got arrested for punching his kid.
Not a student, just like his child.
A student
Oh, okay.
who was his kid, coincidentally.
Alright.
And this kid just didn't show up for about a week, and then the teacher didn't show up for about a week, and I was like, oh. And the kid came with a black eye, and I was like, oh. And the teacher never came back.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Oh.
Goddamn.
I know kids are terrible with it, bro. Like you can't keep a secret with the kid. They'll go around and say that shit next day at school.
Yeah.
And he did. He's like, my daddy hit me in the face. And I was like, dope.
Mr. Johnson?
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
There was a teacher at my school who got fired for fucking, when students would like be on their fucking Chromebooks during class, and it's like you shouldn't be on your Chromebooks or laptops or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He saw a student that was typing, and the student had a fucking textbook like right by their Chromebook. The teacher had fucking just slammed the book on the kid's finger, or had slammed the laptop on the kid's fingers, and then grabbed the book and threw it across the class. Just started yelling at the kid for being on the laptop, and he got fired.
Damn.
You know what's crazy? I had a teacher. He was 8th grade English. He threw a desk at a kid. And then the next year, he was the fucking principal.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah,
hey, gotta work your way up.
Yeah. Like the grind was real.
They
bro,
were just like, "Hey, man,
I just remember him getting pissed off and throwing it, and then next year they were like, "He's the principal now.
You should be in charge of more people." I think.
Yeah, like if that's how you handle business, bro, go ahead,
run the school.
He actually retired within 2 years because. Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Crazy, dude. I loved the guy though. He was pretty funny. He was pretty funny.
Yeah,
and his wife was hot, so it was a plus one.
Win-win.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
Except for the kid who got a desk thrown at him.
Yeah, I was like, throwing
win-win
desks,
for everyone except
hot
for
wife. That's the life. You know.
Yeah, I guess being like, I know this is like something that like Diego and I have like spoken about before, growing up in like small towns. I know my town is like still slightly bigger than yours, where it's just like a lot of fucking kooky shit happened. I don't know.
I feel like I don't really have stories that compare.
Yeah, you do have the Pooh Vandal.
The Pooh Bandit.
The Pooh Bandit.
The Pooh Bandit. Yeah. So I went to a private Catholic school for high school.
We're demelted,
but you're
no one. I can guarantee you, no one who listens.
Dude, if Julian listens, man, he's gonna know. He's gonna know exactly where I went to high school. Yeah. Never mind.
I thought it wouldn't pop up on Google, but it did.
No, yeah. I'll just bleep that out. But yeah, I went to a private Catholic high school.
But you're Jewish.
Yeah,
A lot
Okay,
of
I am.
Jewish kids go to Catholic high schools.
yeah, because there aren't a lot of Jewish high schools.
I'm gonna sound dumb as fuck, but
Yeah.
like, Jewish is a race, right?
No, it's
Yeah.
a religion.
It's a religion.
It's a religion. Yeah.
What?
You want me to explain Judaism real quick?
Yeah. Fuck
So
yeah.
the Bible is split into the Old Testament and the New Testament, right?
Uh-huh.
So the Old Testament is the Torah,
Okay,
which is what which is the holy text of the Jews. So the Jews transcribed and followed the Torah up until the birth of Jesus, which then had the Christians. Christianity is formed around the birth of Jesus, and that's what starts the New Testament. And Jewish people just don't believe that Jesus was the prophesized like savior that is written in the
Do you have
Torah.
a bar mitzvah?
I did. I had a bar mitzvah.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, man, it was sick.
Your
I did it in my
sister's-
backyard.
Your sister's bat mitzvah was Adam Sandler was there.
Yeah,
You're fucking lying.
I'm not. Adam Sandler showed up for like 5 minutes and gave her a fucking jukebox.
That's your sister?
My half
Oh
sister.
my god, that's so cool.
On the half side of the family that I'm not related to, it was my dad's first wife. When they split up, my dad married my mom, had me and my brother, and his first wife got remarried. And this dude, should I talk about him? I feel like I shouldn't.
Bucked up.
No.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I can
Yeah.
bleep this. Adam Bennett.
yeah. Adam.
Should I
Bennett.
talk about him?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, not enough people fucking listen to this they're gonna connect the dots. Diego, you ever heard of Adam Bennett?
No.
You ever hear of Terry Crews?
Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Adam Bennett was what I use was past tense, was a big Hollywood mucky muck agent, represented Adam Sandler, which is why he showed up at my sister's bat mitzvah. And he represented Adam Sandler, like Chris Rock, like that whole crew, and a bunch of other people. I don't remember if he actually represented Terry Crews or if he just like ran into him at a party or something. Dude got drunk off his ass and is just like hyping up. I shouldn't say hyping up. Is just like, I mean, as it's been called in allegations, etc. He was just harassing Terry Crews about his physique.
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything, and like
I
smacked
actually-
him,
I know
and
about
like
that,
smacked
yeah.
him on the ass. This was really big news a few years ago because it was like it was not like the start of, but it gained a lot of publicity towards just like men can be sexually harassed as well. And it just was Terry Crews is obviously just like a big buff dude, so it was just like even big dudes that are buff and have lots of muscles have feelings too, and it's like be respectful to men as well.
Yeah, I saw Terry Crews's court talk. Like
that was probably about
yeah, it
this.
was about him. Yeah,
So that was my half sister's stepdad for a while, and then they got divorced. This is before all this news happened, but
that's crazy.
yeah, I never met the dude, but goddamn. Oh, I thought that was a red light. Never mind. That dude was flying. Yeah. I don't even remember what I was fucking talking about. I went to a private Catholic school. Tracing all the way back.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about Judaism.
Yeah, but before that, I was
Yeah.
saying I went to a private Catholic school. What was my story about that? Oh, the Pooh Bandit. The Pooh Bandit. So, couple of famous people have gone to this school, like famous through like a degree of separation, essentially. And one of them is this kid whose mom was super famous, She had done a few movies in like the 80s and 90s, including one where she gets fully nude. So people obviously were like dogging him for that. But it was him and his brother. They both went to the school, and they were, I think one was a sophomore and one was a senior. My brother's freshman year there, my older brother. And I remember my brother coming home and telling me about this shit. And I was like, this is fucking wild. And I've told this story to so many people since then. One of these kids uh, essentially smeared just shit on the walls of the bathroom, and then just like left it and didn't say anything. Nobody knew what happened. It was a pretty small school. It's like 400 kids, and my brother said the like vice principal comes on the loudspeaker and he's just like, someone had done a horrible thing on our beautiful campus. And if anyone has any information about what happened in the bathroom by the cafeteria, please come forward. And everyone's just like super fucking confused. The bathroom's like locked off. No one knows what happened. There's like rumors and shit. And then he gets away with it the first time. He gets away with it scot-free. And he goes and does it again in a different bathroom, and that bathroom has cameras that lead to the door, and they fully catch him, and he's like, fuck this shit. And he smears shit all over the wall, does like swastikas and everything too, the works. And he gets suspended indefinitely, and they like meet with his family and they meet with him a bunch of times. And his mom, who at the time she was in the middle of like a huge ad campaign where she was the face of, K Jewelers. She was the face of like their new line of like necklaces. And so she was just raking in big bucks. I know the name of it. I feel like it'll spoil who it is if I say what is the Open Heart Collection for K Jewelers. I remember it was a huge fucking thing, commercials all the time. She bought our football field a new scoreboard, and they were like, your son can come back to school. And then like a month later, he gets caught smoking weed like on the corner by the parking lot, and they fucking kick him out, and they just keep the scoreboard. And so that's the story of the Pooh Bandit. I might be missing some beats because, again, this happened like, I don't know, 8 years ago, and I learned it secondhand. That was a funny story. Rich kids are fucking weird. I don't know, man. Fucking weird. And then he went to like military school after that. I don't know what happened to him. I remember his name, but I'm not going to dox him. Chris Keach. Whatever.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird shit, man.
Our school, my last year, there were so many fights and so many people doing drugs in the bathroom that they straight up took the doors to our restroom.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, they just
That's
took the
such a-
fucking doors.
That's so fucking annoying, dude. I'd be so angry
Yeah,
if I was just like not involved in that at all, and I just lost my
hear
fucking.
that I was involved in it.
Yeah, drugs or fighting.
A little of both,
A little bit of
here and there.
We
All I
dabbled.
know is 1 week I dabbled in it. Yeah, no, and they straight up took the door so you can hear like everybody, whatever anybody was doing in the bathroom, you can hear it in the halls.
Mhm.
And I remember this one time, this substitute teacher, a little old man, he was a great guy. I loved him so much. He walked into the restroom and he like ripped the loudest ass I think I've ever fucking heard before. And it was one of those, like, it was so pent up that like afterwards he let out a and you heard that all the way out in the hall. So that was insane, yeah. for a little town, I'm keeping up with LA stories, bro.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
so proud to be where I'm from.
Yeah, man.
No, I mean, I know it's similar. I think it is hella funny talking to you because it does feel like whenever a story is too much, and it's just like, I know whenever I tell people, they're like, okay. Then I think like whenever like speaking to you, it's like a thing in which like I tell it, and you're like, okay, cool. So here's this.
Yeah.
It's like, yo.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I got teachers that hit their kids, slept with students,
Mm-hmm.
got a DUI one time, got a crash. That was pretty funny. It wasn't like
That was great for audio.
yeah.
That was wild.
Are you cold now?
No, I was just gonna say, I hope he crashes,
Oh my god.
but I don't. I truly don't.
I don't think so. I think you do. I think somewhere deep down,
You've
there's
got
an
this,
evil part of you, boy.
this bubbling anger.
Yeah. Thank you for recognizing a very weak part of myself.
No, it's. I feel it, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I like. On the topic of it, I remember one time in high school, I got in a lot of trouble for destroying a filing cabinet. It's like very like. It's funny because Jake met a few of my friends from my hometown,
And they fully just recounted their perspective of the story that I've heard a few times.
yeah, of like the filing cabinet incident in which I was already like really well known. But I think if I had to like sum up who I was in high school, it would be the filing cabinet incident, where essentially a teacher was giving away a filing cabinet for free, and I had a free period because I didn't want to take a science my senior year because science sucks. Fuck science. And I saw that he had a free filing cabinet, so I'm like, yo, I'm just going to take this out into the baseball field and destroy it. And I took it out with like a few people who knew me was like, yo, what are you doing? And I told them, and they're like, yeah, we'll help you carry it out. We have time. So I carried it out to a field where you could still see it from a part of the school, but like not the whole school could see it. And I remember I started destroying it, but then I realized how hard it was. And
Goddamn.
I was panting because
I bet it's so much fun just hauling ass down this right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it on my bike. I'll be pedaling fast as fuck, bro.
hyperventilating and shit.
Yeah, I gotta take a breath. I can't even. I'll be like pedaling for a good 30 seconds. I'm like,
Yeah, I took it out, and I remember I tried destroying it, but I like got tired because it's a lot of effort. So I just like bent over. I was like, "Fuck, I don't think I can do this." And then I hear a loud voice, which ended up being my AP US history teacher, my old one, who is like the football coach and the most like well-known person. He just goes, "You can do it, Willard!" like yelling from his classroom, and I was like,
I can't fucking.
I
do
can't.
It.
And
I
then
can
he
do
sends
this.
a student out, Leo. Sorry.
Unnecessary docs.
Unnecessary docs. His name's Leo. He's never going to listen to this. He's not allowed to have internet access. But he comes out, and he was like, he comes out with a water bottle. He just goes, "Hey, I think you might be a little parched." And he like passes me this water bottle, and I'm like, "Thank you." And I told him how to destroy it, and he was like, "Okay, here's what we can do." So then we started destroying it together, and then two aides come out, like the main like hall officers or whatever, come out, and they like go like they start shitting on us. You know, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Destroying a filing cabinet."
It's mine.
And they're like, "You can't do that." And I'm like, "Yes, I can." And they're like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Yes, I can." And They're like, why can't you do that? I'm like, because it was free. And they go, no, it wasn't. And I go, yes, it was. And then as we're getting in trouble, my teacher brought out his entire class. Brought out his entire class to come and defend me. So there's fully like 30 or 40 people on this field to be like, what they're doing is it wrong? And it was a whole thing.
Got a whole protest.
Yeah, which was fucking crazy because it was over a filing cabinet, and I'm like, shit, like I won prom king because of this. I don't think it was why I won, but I was also nominated for prom king at the same time because the prom.
So it was good, just promo.
Yeah, prom was the week after, and I just told everyone for every vote I get, I'll destroy a filing cabinet.
Did you?
No, because I won, so
ran out
I
of
had
filing cabinets.
ran out of filing cabinets in the school. But yeah, I remember when I got in trouble. I got to the person's office, and she goes, "Look, I've confiscated like 5 weed pens, and there's been 2 fights today. I do not really care about this. You are not going to get in trouble." And I remember like crying in her office because I didn't want to be in trouble. And I just like wrote it down. I'm like, yeah, my like AP US history teacher peer pressured me, like, all this.
You snitched right off the bat. You was
Wow.
snitch.
Wow. He was giving you the support you needed. Threw him
He
under
was
the
like,
bus.
you got it, bro. And you were like, yeah, you're fucked. Never said that. If anything happens, this is all on you, bro.
No, I
That's
do
so
regret
funny.
it because he did recant a letter of recommendation over it. But
Really?
yeah, no,
Damn,
he was
is that why you
not-
ended up going to my school? Kind of.
Yeah, but I just remember she was laughing at it the entire time. Like she was chuckling and like reading the line, and she just goes, "Just go to your fucking class. I don't care." She goes, "Please, this is like one of the funniest things."
That's awesome.
And then I was told, essentially, like, yeah, no, I just remember hearing other people's perspectives. Is multiple people watched that shit as it unfolded. And I remember specifically my AP US history teacher, as this story has been described to me by one of the people who you met, who described it to you, was they were doing homework, and the football coach was looking out his window, and he's like, "Oh, some kid's like destroying a filing cabinet out there," and then he just goes, "Oh, Willard," like he goes like, "Oh, Willard, there's just something up with him." And as I've been told, they just go, "Willard?" And they fucking all like come to the fucking window because I had like 1-2 talent shows at this point. Like everyone
So
just
you were
kind of.
well known.
I was very
Okay,
well
okay.
known. So they were like, Willard.
Like, he didn't need this for prom king.
Yeah. And every.
Get it for the fucking game.
He wanted
Bro,
to make sure no one else got a single fucking vote.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I could snitch.
I fucking hated my April's teacher.
No, he was awesome. Shout out Mr. Monfoletto. But
That's such an Italian name.
he was very Italian Christian. So,
Really?
yeah.
See, speaking of Catholic,
Mm.
a lot of Italians are Catholic,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
I've watched Goodfellas. Good number of times.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. There is. Yeah. The reason why I got in trouble in the first place was the teacher who gave away the filing cabinet. His wife is my aunt's best friend. And my aunt would always tell me, like, yeah, Mr. H. That's how I'll refer to him. Yeah, they're like, yeah, Mr. H is like severely depressed and just hates his job. And everyone I know who had him was like, yeah, he just does not want to be there. And he was trying to teach a
It's
lesson.
always like the great sign you want in a teacher too.
Yeah.
Someone who just fucking hates it. On you.
Dude.
No, we'll get mugged.
You'll get stabbed on
stabbed.
the Shake Shack patio.
They
Take
went
my
to the liquor
computer.
store, too.
Damn.
Heathens.
But yeah, he was teaching, and as I was told, somebody was just like, "Hey, there's like a fucking kid out there, like destroying shit." And then I know who this person was. I'm not going to name them. They like ran to the window, and they just go, "Holy fuck, it's Willard!" And people just started fucking going to the fucking like window, and he got mad that he couldn't control his class. That he,
She's walking fast as fuck.
Yeah.
She's on a mission. I gotta pee. Okay, you guys continue talking. I gotta take a leak so bad. Where do I go to take a leak? Where my camera won't be on
over-
fucking the internet.
so there is a gigantic electrical box.
Just in that back corner.
Yeah,
God, that's so
you're good.
It's so scary.
You piss your pants and you just stop, and then you turn around.
we just look over. And you're just like standing in the middle of the parking.
All crying.
Yeah.
Oh god.
For some reason, when we record outside in West Hollywood, someone just has to leave the podcast to go take a piss.
Oh, I forgot I did that.
You did do that. Yeah. That's funny. Shit, man. The only time I ever like got in trouble at school. I mean, I would get like in minor trouble occasionally. The only time it ever came to like a conversation with like, I got suspended for a day. I'm assuming I've told you this story.
Yeah, I believe we spoke.
It was my freshman year of high school. Basically, I'm on the baseball team. I played for like a couple weeks with the freshman team, and then I got moved up to JV. And so there weren't a lot of freshmen on the JV team, and so I didn't have a lot of friends. So I would still, I still talked to and hung out with all the freshmen because they're like my classmates and shit. And so I was in their team group chat, and they started like ragging on this kid who I'm not gonna name, but he just like had very like minuscule baseball knowledge. I guess I'll start this over since Diego's coming back.
Why did he run like
Shit,
that?
it's so cold, bro. I don't know how you guys aren't cold.
I'm starting to get a little cold.
You guys are tripping. There's like a whole couch back there too, bro.
I've kind of noticed that.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, because sometimes I park over there and I'm like, should I be parking here when I'm closing? Because like if someone's just chilling back there, that's pretty easy access to my car. But heard. I was telling a story about the one time I got suspended.
Yeah.
The
amount of times I've been drunk on this front patio,
really?
like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Like 5. No, that's lying. I've been drunk out
dude,
here like 5 or 6.
If I had a nickel for every time I was drunk on this patio, I'd have at least a quarter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not me. That was Willard's situation. I was just making.
I was drunk here yesterday.
Really?
A little.
A little.
Was I off yesterday? No, I wasn't.
No, it was right after y'all had gotten on.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, we're a little over 50 minutes right now.
We're over 60.
Are we really?
No,
No.
I misread it.
It's alright. All
You
right.
guys thinking of ending it?
Huh?
You guys thinking of ending it?
Yeah.
Do you have any final words? Final impressions?
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
It's been a pleasure.
Mhm. Great shit, man.
Nice talking to you guys about it.
You are
Yeah.
so fucking cold. That's kind of like mind blowing.
Yeah, no, I'm a bitch when it comes to a cold, alright?
That's wild,
Can't
man.
handle it. I start shaking like a crackhead.
Start actually smoking crack as
Yeah.
well.
To
Like,
make
oh
me
my god,
warmer,
I'm so
actually.
fucking cold right now.
Pull out the foil.
I'm so fucking cold. You have a fucking
You just
meth
pull a
pipe.
spoon out of your pocket.
Bro, one time, if we're talking about like LA stories, I was literally walking with my partner to a park and we were crossing this fucking park bench. I can name the exact intersection. Hollywood in Vermont. And we're walking past this park bench and there's this dude like smoking meth. This like out of a regular meth pipe. And he's like, God, I'll fucking kill you. Like shit like that. But we're like, it's LA. You hear that shit all the time. We go to the art park, have a very lovely date, and we come back, and this dude's just smoking meth out of a dab rig.
Just
Like
smoking more meth out of a different.
smoking heavier meth out of a dab rig.
Respect.
Are we trying to do that?
That's Los Angeles, man.
No.
That's
Maybe,
Los
I don't know.
Angeles.
Cut the mic off and we'll talk.
All right. This is pretty straightforward. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.
We'll catch you next week. All right. Bye.